Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about advanced VPN configurations. We're going to talk about what a VPN is at its core and how to actually, integrate this, bring more about advanced protection. So a VPN is going to act as like a secure tunnel, utilizing our encryption protocols, these different gateways, and it's going to encapsulate and secure that traffic between these two different endpoints. And there are multiple types of VPNs though. You have your remote access, your site to site, your client base. It really just depends upon what the use case of this VPN is for the organization as a whole. I think understanding the different types is foundational knowledge, because at that point you can choose which VPN protocol you want to use and also understand the characteristics that goes along with that. So keeping in mind that all these different VPN protocols are going to determine how that data is going to be encrypted, how is it going to be transmitted. So some of those protocols are going to be OpenVPN, IPsec, you have L2TP. So it really just depends again on what is it for that organization. If you want to implement and secure and effectively VPN solution, one of the main ways you want to go about doing this is understanding the needs, right? Understanding the needs of the organization. I'm gonna always go back to that. Determine whether if you even need a VPN in the first place. Of course you need a VPN, right? But if you're talking about using it for remote sites or just for internet communication or just to actually apply these best practices within your cloud environment, it's a good choice too. Now you have to choose the right protocol as well. So we have to balance the security along with performance, because we want to, of course, have our devices and that transmission, right? We want to have that hardware and the transmission hardened as much as possible. But we also want to not forget about more of the performance too. We want to make sure that our end users have great performance as they go through this. Now, the role of encryption within VPN security is quite simple. We're just trying to encrypt that traffic. That's it. We're trying to encrypt the traffic from point A to point B. And then being able to optimize that with load balancing, with quality of service, with compression. So these are all ways that we'll really do that. Now, this is going to affect the performance too, because think about the quality of service, right? We're going to prioritize critical applications, right, over something that's not so important that we don't really need. Or compression, which is we're going to reduce the data size because, smaller data gets there faster. Now, the threats though, how do we mitigate these threats? Well, we have man-in-the-middle, DNS leaks, credentials theft. So man-in-the-middle attack can be mitigated with encryption and authentication. The DNS leak itself can be prevented with the use of DNS servers with that VPN tunnel, right? So you got to combine those two to help out with the leakage of that DNS traffic. And then, you want to solve the issue with credential theft with strong passwords and, of course, multi-factor authentication. And we always know it's going to rely on some form of legality or regulatory body. So VPN regulations are going to vary where you're at, but just know the two blanketing ones are going to be GDPR and HIPAA. So understanding that there are going to be risk associated with not doing this. So you may want to go ahead and figure out what governing body are you going to be needing to abide by. And one of the examples is going to be, we're going to have remote access for our employees. So a company itself can allow employees to access the actual internal network, right, by deploying a VPN with AES, with multi-factor authentication, because again, this is going to increase that performance, but also increase security as well. So today we talked about VPN configurations. Again, it's been great. General here, CEO of Cortex Solutions, brought to you by ACSMI. I hope you have a great one. Take care.